And it's the same with Finn. He's not patronizing you when he says he likes you, Avery. He genuinely thinks you are one of the most intriguing and stunning women he's ever met. The more you say that's not true, the more you are calling his opinion worthless.
There's not a goddamn person on this planet I'd let come between us. Hell, even you could tell me we shouldn't be together, and that still wouldn't be enough to convince me you, Avery Scott, are my destiny. I have the most beautiful woman in the world, inside and out, and I'm never letting you go. It's as simple as that.
Oh, Finn, the man that you are. He. Okay, camera shy. One of the best books I have ever read. Jesus. Clearly, it's causing me to have a stroke. One of the best books I've ever read. Um, it is a 6-star read for me. It is so good. It was, I think, the first like book that I kind of saw myself in, like in a real way, and it was just amazing. Kay Cove really knows how to write a book. And I was so excited for you to read it.
I cried within like the first 3 chapters. This book had me on such an emotional roller coaster. And like, just like you said, you can see yourself in this book. And I think that that's a huge point of her writing, is she wants you to feel that way. This book kind of got me on like 2 different levels though.
Yeah.
I do photography. I strive to, in all of my photography, to make sure that I am representing that person as true and as natural as they are. And just his need to reassure, like, not reassure women, to get women to realize they don't need makeup and duck face, and he just the way that he just is so gentle. And I was like, oh my god, I love that. And then, we both can see ourselves in Avery
Yeah.
just from past experiences. And I, like, not gonna lie, like, I had just finished reading this book. And I put on a pair of shorts that I haven't worn in a while. And my immediate thought was how much I hated my legs. And then it was like an immediate snap in my head of like being like, don't talk about yourself like that. And it was just like I understand.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the emotional roller coaster.
This book was a ride for sure. It was a ride. It was a fun ride. It was an emotional ride. It was a what is going on ride. Like it was a ride not only like of self-love, which I think is like it's a very big like proponent of the book, but also just like how when you do actually like yourself, the people that you want around, like you start noticing the people around you's behavior and like how they treat you, and like you start realizing that it like is not okay, and you like deserve to be treated like a human being, and you deserve to be treated well by your friends. And I think it was really like a big story of that. Like, yes, it's a romance book, but I think it really was like learning that you are badass just like how you are, and you deserve to be around and like surround yourself with people who are also just as badass and who all and believe in your like badassness and like believe in like who you are as a person and like that you know who you are doesn't revolve around necessarily what you wear or what you look like or how much money you have or like whatever, but it's like your character and who you are as a person. And like I really like loved that aspect of it because it's so real. Like sometimes you just surround yourself with shitty people who bring you down and you end up just like feeling bad about yourself all the time. You end up comparing yourself to your friends and like that's such a shitty way to be friends with someone. Like it's
Yeah.
such a
Competition between friends.
it's gross. It's so gross. But I think every girl like has had a friendship like that once in their life at least. You know, if
Yeah.
not more. Like you have had a friend in your life who tries to compete with you or tries to put you down to make themselves look better or you know what I mean is like even that like movie The Duff, like the designated ugly fat friend. Like
Yes.
that
I was
whole
just thinking
thing
that.
is just crazy. It's crazy. Like you should want your friends to do well. You should believe in your friends. You should lift them up you know at every possible chance. Like you should want that. You shouldn't see your friends and be you shouldn't have envy with your friends. You shouldn't be like I think there can be like a level of like comparison like and I've noticed it in my life specifically where all my friends are married or in long-term relationships and are having kids and are like doing all the things and I am not like I just started like kind of dating and I just got back out there and I just started kind of like seeing you know what I was so I was like I was the duff like you know what I mean and you have those feelings and you start like not necessarily comparing, but you do start being like, "Oh, like am I falling behind in
Yeah.
life? Like am I, you know, if all my friends are doing this and we're all the same age and we're all, you know, whatever, why am I not?" But like
Yeah.
not like I don't know. Like I think it takes some time to like learn that like not everybody's path is the same and like learn to accept that not everybody's path is the same and not everybody has to be on the same timeline. And you don't have to be on the same timeline as your friends to be
Being a friend.
friends. Yeah. Yes,
Like
exactly.
it's and just so you are aware, your married friends and your friends with kids are most definitely going, man, I wish I was single right now.
Yeah. Like I think there's a level of like I think it not envy because I don't like that. I think that's negative, but I think there is a level of like the grass is always greener. Like that
Yeah.
kind of think there's like that level of thinking of like, oh, okay. But like the reality is I don't want kids. I don't even know if I want to ever be married.
Right.
Like and for a long time I was like very much like I'm going to be single. I'm happy being single. I don't really care to have a man. I don't even know if I want one. Like so
I
it was
like
a
my
very
space.
yeah, like it was a very like the juxtaposition of that like feeling that way and like knowing myself that way and then seeing like everybody else and I'm just like, "Oh, now I'm like the only one and now I'm like alone." But I think that also when I was like going through that, the friends that I had at the time that were in that situation were very much like not very good friends.
Yeah.
Like because I don't feel that with you. Like and I don't feel that with my friend Liz at all. Like she just got married and or she got married like 2 years ago, but like I don't feel that like level of like we're not friends because now you have your own family and you're doing your own thing. Like that level of like I don't want to call it abandonment, but like you kind of like abandon your friends like and you end up like
Yeah.
kind of left out of things and like um because they're like, "Oh, well you don't want to come cuz the kids are like all this." And I'm like, "No, like I love your kids. Bring the kids, hang out with the kid. Like I don't care." So
Where
like
like I've had friends that once I got pregnant, like they they did. They stopped inviting me places, you know?
Yeah.
And then when I confronted, it was, oh, well, we just figured you'd say no. And I said, I probably would have because it's drinking on New Year's Eve, but just to think that my friend thought about, like, hey, I
Yeah.
wonder if she's doing anything. You know, she's pregnant. She's probably not going to, like, go out. And I was like, it really freaking sucks that it's like I wasn't even a thought in your mind because you didn't reach out because I have kids.
Yeah.
Like, and this was my second kid.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know that I can do things, but and it's like I think that they have that thought of, well, that's just not where my life is, so I don't want to include
Yeah.
your lifestyle in my life, and like that's okay. And then when they got pregnant, they were like, everyone just doesn't want to hang out with me, and if they do, it's just because they want to touch my belly. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
like people, like there's two sides of it, you know. There are people who feel left out, and then there are people who go, well, that's not what I want for my life, and then they just scooch themselves out the door, which, like,
Yeah.
don't let it hit you, but
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
I think yeah, I do. I think that that's like a big, I don't know. I think that it's a big thing, and I think it's a really big theme in the book, specifically with her relationship with Palmer, and like that being a lifelong friend. And yeah, Palmer. I'm gonna just be so real. I think Palmer is the first like side character I have ever like hated, like felt visceral hatred towards. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have never, and I've read a lot of books. I've read a lot of books. I've read almost all of these books and more. And I have never hated a side character as much as Palmer, except for Chris in the Edge of Darkness trilogy, that you are not allowed to read.
Well, then I'll hate him just because you do, on
Yeah,
principle.
you can read it later. You need to read.
Yeah.
You need to read some other. You need to get a little darker before you go to that, because that's like pitch black.
I
You need to get a little
can't
bit more.
see.
You need to be a little bit more gray. But yeah, like I think she is like she was the first like side character that I have ever literally hated from the minute she was in the book. Like I knew something was wrong with her from the first chapter.
I I hated her for like the ditzy. She
Yeah,
kind
the
of
fake
ditzy,
ditziness.
and the just the way that Avery would had automatically started comparing herself to her. I was like, ugh,
Yeah.
I don't
Like you
like
know where
this.
that's bred. Yeah.
And then like the more that there was dialogue between the two of them, and like Avery's and her thoughts, and I was like, huh,
Yeah.
I don't like this very much.
She is literally the worst. And had she had the thing with um Marcus
Mason.
Mason. Couldn't remember what his name was. Even if she hadn't like had the affair with Mason, first of all, having an affair with your best friend's boyfriend, their whole entire relationship since the beginning of their relationship is insane, especially when you know and knew that your friend would have not gotten with him had you liked him.
Yeah, that
That is
is
insane. That is psychotic behavior. That is actual psychosis.
because Avery, her whole friendship with her, has idolized her,
Yeah.
and
She's
it
like,
was
she's
like
my only friend. She's my best friend. Like,
it
it,
was very I do have to say that that kind of plot line is like that cliche, like there's always a heavier set friend and a skinny friend,
Yeah.
um, which
That
seems
is,
very intentional.
and it's the reality. That has been my reality my entire life.
Yeah,
Like, my entire life. So, like, that for me, I was just like, okay, yeah, this is like real life. Like,
yeah,
this is just like what happens. And so, I don't know. I like this book like fucked me up. It fucked me up big time. Like, it fucked me up and fixed me all at the same time.
tore you down to put you back together.
Yeah, yeah, basically that's exactly what it was. But yeah, like, I think the friendship thing, like, that was very intentional to
Highlight,
also just like so real. Like, it mirrors real life, like, so heavily mirrors real life. And I feel like you don't actually get that in a lot of like romance books. Not necessarily that like their romance was like super realistic. Could that happen? Maybe. But like the growth and like the learning and the friendships and like the building and like the build up to everything, well, I think mirrored reality like really, really well.
yeah.
Really well.
I I hated Palmer because like I have had friends in the past who were always a lot skinnier than I am. And like up until the point that I had kids, I was never ever referred to as by doctors
Yeah.
heavier weight.
Yeah.
I was
Because you're
always
tall.
yeah, I'm like I'm a healthy weight for a 6 foot almost 30-year-old woman.
Yeah.
And then I had the kids. Okay, 30 years old is right now. When I
Yeah.
had kids, like 20-year-old woman. But then I had kids and I started being told that I was considered obese. And I was like, I'm stretched. Like
Yeah.
head to freaking toe, man. I don't believe your scale. But especially after I had kids, it really felt like I always felt put down being around my other friends because they were wearing crop tops and booty shorts because they have the body for it. And I would always be like buttoning up everything as tight as I could because
Yeah.
God forbid, somebody knew I had children, you
Yeah.
know? But then, like, my husband made a comment during our time of apartness, um, that I dressed up more in those 6 weeks and did my makeup and everything more than I have, than I do for him.
Yeah.
And I was like very blunt with him in that moment. I was like, I didn't dress up for you or for me. I felt like I needed to dress up because of who I was going out with, and that if I didn't, God forbid, somebody wouldn't even know that I was there, you
Yeah.
know? Because I'm not a show my body off kind of person. I never have. That's some of my spiritual trauma, religious
Yeah.
trauma, Like
Yeah.
I find myself being an old lady going, "Oh my god, she's showing so much midriff. Someone's going to know she has a belly button."
Yeah.
Like I still go through those. So going out with the people that I was going out with, I was like, I have to show my body off. Otherwise, I'm going to blend in with the freaking wall, man. No
Yeah.
one's going to know that I'm there.
Mhm.
And like the whole Palmer situation, I was like, Avery, don't do this to yourself. I've been down this road, babe.
Yeah.
Just back out. Back out. It's okay to understand that a friend is not always meant to be there your entire life.
Yeah. Yeah.
A friend for a reason, gone with the season or whatever that.
So yeah, I don't think you need to have friends the whole like for your whole life. Like I think that there are like people have seasons in the same like kind of way, and I personally don't have or like never had like a lifelong friend, like a friend I've been with like for my whole life. And I think that when you do have friends that you've like been friends with for your whole life and you grew up together or like whatever, like you started being friends in elementary school and you grew up together, do think that it kind of turns out like maybe like one of three ways. It either becomes really 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 toxic and um just like not good, and you become just like really toxic to each other and just like you fight a lot like whatever, and there becomes a, like someone is mistreating the other, or like you actually grow together and you have good communication and like everything is good, and like you just kind of you both kind of grow in the same direction in the same way, you kind of grow and into life at the same like time, like on the same timeline, parallel timeline. Or it ends up being like really really codependent.
Yeah.
And I think the codependency is a little bit different than like something that's really toxic. And I think that Palmer and Avery had both the very toxic and the codependency problem.
Oh,
Well,
for sure. Palmer
and
wanted her to like dote over her.
yeah, like that was like the toxicity like 100% came from Palmer, but I think that Avery did have a little bit of like codependency because she didn't know anything more than to take care of Palmer, take care of Palmer's feelings, like do all of that, and it did become like a codependent thing due to like the things that were happening in both of their lives. Like and that's
Yeah.
just kind of how it happened. But also like that started way young, like when they were younger, like that started the first time like middle school, I think is when Avery says like it gets mentioned because she got boobs first, like, and
Yeah.
she started gaining weight and Palmer didn't, and so like it became like this big comparison game. And Palmer, instead of saying stop comparing us, like we're not the same person, like whatever, and lifting Avery up, she like ate it up, she ate all the attention up, she ate the whole like I'm the prettier, better, like she has this like superiority complex because she doesn't like herself.
Yeah.
I mean, really in retrospect, that's what it is. She doesn't
She's
like
a
herself. She
horrible
thinks Avery's better than
person.
she is. Yeah, it's awful. It's literally awful. And then they just continue that, into their adult life. So like I think that you are probably the closest I have to like a lifelong friend, like because we met in high school, but I also think that like our relationship works because I don't feel like I've ever, and I told you this like before, like a couple days ago, but I was like, I don't think there's ever been any competition between us. I've never felt judged by you, by like anything that I was saying, even though, like, especially when we were in high school, we were so different. Like, polar opposite, like, different. Like, so, so, so different. Like, your mom thought I was of the devil.
Yeah.
Like we were so different, we were living in completely like separate households, we were our interests were different, like we were so different that it didn't make sense that we worked. But I think that that was like I think that's why it worked. Like I
Yeah.
truly I think that that's why it worked in the long run, because there was never this like, and I think it's also just like both of our personalities, like we're both very like individual people, and we're very like living, like we kind of lived our own lives and just kind of like caught up with each other basically like when we could, essentially,
Yeah. Like,
like like
I think there
when we
was like a
could,
full
like we
time we
had,
went a year without talking.
yeah, like there we had a couple of hiatuses where we were like not talking, but there's not a moment in time that I didn't like think of you as my like that we were friends. Like there
Yeah.
was like never a thought in my mind that we were not friends.
And like I think that it's totally normal to have an adult friendship that you don't talk all the time. I mean, obviously our friendship is a little different right now
Yeah.
at this point in our lives.
But I
But
think we're also we're also
like
very different people now.
yeah. And I think it also works because like we are so different. Like you said, ultimately that's why it worked. We don't have the same taste in men, so we would never go through this situation.
No.
Like we're we're different enough that like the things that we're similar in, and like we're similar, but like thinking about like a topic on that we're similar, it's like
It's like what?
what is it, you know? Like I'm over here excited that my Emily Ann, that sweet little Yeehaw Mima, just posted her new song, and I'm like, ooh, and you're like, you little country girl, like
Yeah.
so different. But like there's no competition for us to have because what would we compete over? We
Yeah.
don't like the same things. I mean, outside of books and like, yeah, we have like the same music taste in some areas, but
Yeah.
like, even our books, like, you read way darker things that like I probably wouldn't even pick up, but there's no competition to be had because we're not trying to be each other.
Yeah. Well, and I think it was also like I truly truly think it's because we are both, I don't want to say I'm not a judgmental person because I definitely think I can be, but I think that I am not going to yuck somebody's yum.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that like that is why the two of us work so well, is because we're not. Like even when we like are like in different periods of our life, like you were never super judgmental that I never wanted kids. You were never like super judgmental when I was like, I'm gonna be single and forever and just like, live in the middle of nowhere and do whatever I want. Like there was never any like judgment from you like on that. And I feel like even like the like some of the things like we talk about obviously is like kind of intense, like deeply personal, like things that like I probably would never talk to anybody else about. Like your husband knows way too much about me. He's becoming one of the girls. But like I think that like that really is like the biggest thing, is that we are so different that it works. Like it works because neither of us want to be the other.
Yeah. And like,
But we still align on like I think everything that matters.
yeah.
Like, our ethics align almost, exactly the same. Our moral, we align very very evenly morally, and like what we believe in the world. We're very aligned politically. Like we're very aligned in the things that matter, that all of the like superficial stuff that I think friends have like disagreements or like arguments with is like we don't have those.
Yeah. And like I'm also the person that I believe that like you're going to believe what you want to believe, you're going to enjoy what you're going to enjoy. And as long as like me enjoying what I'm enjoying doesn't offend you, like, or
Yeah.
like as long as you can handle me doing what I love and you doing what you love, then there's no reason to judge somebody for what they do, and like
Yeah.
my husband does know a lot of things about you, but you also know a lot of things about him
Yes, I do.
that,
It's an even
it,
exchange.
yeah,
It's an even
it's,
exchange. What did he call us yesterday? A thruple. He said this is why our thruple works.
yes, because you guys have your own interests together.
Yeah.
But at the same point, like, I would never feel comfortable with any of my other friends considering themselves like
A
a
thruple.
throuple. Because there have been times where I have had friends come over and they are wearing like booty shorts and just a sports bra with like a net over it, or a crop top that's pretty much just a sports bra. Again, religious trauma. Um, it and they wear that in front of my husband. Now, I know that my husband would never
Yeah.
do anything like that, and he would never even look at them. Um, Mainly because, he knows that they're my friends, but also it's not the kind of girl he's into.
Yeah.
He's into the emotionally traumatized. Um, the
Oh my gosh.
it's the fact that like you didn't have enough respect for me as my friend to cover yourself up, and like you're literally walking in and tempting. And like I feel like that is such a huge line of disrespect in a friendship. Like if I'm going around my friend's boyfriend or husband, like I am a Catholic nun. Okay? Like you don't see a single part of me because I I'm not looking at you, but I can't control what your eyes do.
Yeah. I think
And I know I'm a fine ass woman, so
I think like the other part of that is that like it's not necessarily, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think it's not necessarily what they're wearing, it's how they act more.
yeah.
Like I feel like your other friends, not that I have spent a lot of time or any time with them, but I do feel like just from like the stories and like even things that like he says, like they are a lot more flirty with
Yeah.
him. It's a lot more like the attitude is a little bit different. It's kind of like a look at me type of way, because I feel like if I came into your house in like shorts and a crop top, I you would think that I was ready to like fight Noah. You would not think that I was ready to
Yeah.
with
Make sure there's nothing in
with
the way.
him. Like you'd be like, "Oh, she's here for business." Like I think it would be like I think it would be different. I think it's just the intent, and also like half your friends have hooked up with their friends' boyfriends, ex-boyfriends, like their sisters, boyfriends, ex-boyfriends, like that's who they are. And I am a girl's girl, like through and
Yeah.
through. Like I would never, could never. I think that's like one line that you never cross is you don't hook up with your friends' exes. You don't hook up with your family's exes. Like you don't hook up even with a person that your friend has a crush on. Like I am like so hard like into that. And so I think it is like a little bit more of like the intent rather than like
Yeah.
the what they're wearing necessarily.
Also, sometimes just like the attitude of like, I'm a big bitch, and like, okay, you don't
Yeah.
need to be a big bitch in my house.
Yeah. Yeah,
We're all
that's
little
very true.
bitches here.
That's
you
very
know?
true. That's
And
really
like,
true.
I just, I don't like being in that situation is, and honestly, I don't know what it is, but recently, so we've always had like a rule of like we know that each other is never going to do anything on the other. So we tell each other about the hot people we see in public, and we're like, there was this really cute cashier, and whoo,
Yeah.
she was good looking.
Yeah.
My jealousy has spiked the older I'm getting,
Yeah. You're getting a little more
and
possessive.
just a little bit. And so like when that's happening, and like reading this and the part in the bathroom where she kind of like really feels herself
Yeah.
after hearing those mean comments, and she comes out, and instead of being like he's
Sad.
mine and
Yeah.
sad, she was like, I hope you have more to offer him. Like, I'll
Yeah.
give him your number. I wish that was the kind of person that I am. But as the story goes, that you have heard probably 1,000 times at this point,
Yeah.
the girl hitting on him in the car show, Like, that was the most possessive I have ever felt over this man when another girl has looked at him. I wasn't like, oh, do you want to give him your number? No, I sat in his lap and was ready to eat his face because I was like, do you not fucking see me sitting right here?
Yeah.
Our children are running around and you're just not even paying attention.
Yeah.
That was like the most possessive I've ever felt. And like reading this, I was like, ooh, that would have been better. That would
Yeah.
have been better instead of
That would
like
have been the better thing.
crazy and like
Like, yeah. I um I don't know how I would react in that situation. I have like I just don't know. Like I've never really like I don't know. I've never felt that, but I also have never been in a position to feel that, unfortunately. Um
do 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 do.
but I like okay. One thing I did want to like touch on too, like that's kind of like in the same vein, is that I thought that you would kind of relate to after your previous relationship, and in that like the learning to be alone, learning to like yourself again, learning to like know who you are like without that person, because that relationship was really toxic and like controlling, and kind of like you were pretty isolated in that situation, kind of like following him and his career and like what he was doing. And
Yeah.
so I have always been kind of like a loner. like like forever. Like I need my family, like, and that's really it. Like I'm so comfortable being alone that I didn't really understand the like I didn't understand her being scared to be alone. Like I didn't really get that part, and like the things that she was going through like in that way. Like, and especially like even the things that like Finn was going through in that way. You know what I mean? Like when he like really got or like broke up with, I'm forgetting her name. I'm forgetting her name. What's her name? Um I can't remember her freaking name. But like when he broke up with her and then like went on that like crazy like sex binge basically.
Yeah.
Like where he was like and then like was celibate for a while and was like learning how, like to be like he was also learning, you know, how to be alone and how to um like be just like himself and like
Was
that
it
kind of thing. Like
Nora? Does
Nora,
Nora sound right?
I don't know. I would 100% would have to look. Um Nora does kind of sound right. I don't know. But like so like they both are kind of living in this like being alone, being their own person, like kind of thing. And like I said, I never really understood that because like I like relish in being alone. I do everything by myself. Like when I finally got to live alone, I felt like I was finally like thriving. Like
Yeah.
I was like, this is my best self. Like I'm so happy being alone. I'm never gonna like get in a relationship. Like it kind of like further solidified that like I'm never gonna be in a relationship like mindset that I had for a long time, because I was like, oh my god, I've never felt this like mentally okay.
Mm-hmm.
My anxiety's never been less. Like, and so I thought that you kind of would relate to that, because I feel like you did take not a like a long time. I don't think there was a super long time in between, but there was like kind of a longer time for you though, because you were kind of like a serial relationship like, or like I don't know what the word is, but like you were like a serial dater. Like you got into relationships like,
Yeah.
and you like
I
needed,
didn't know how to be
yeah,
alone, you
yeah,
know? And like, I do love the fact that Finn and Avery learned to be comfortable together.
yeah,
I did love that a lot. Um between the ex and the current, it was like a month.
it wasn't a
Uh
month.
yeah, I left March I left March 16th and we
It
went
was
on our
not a
first date
month.
April 17th.
I could have swore it was like 6 months.
I wanted 6 months. So, okay, so the way that
Because
I
I knew,
left him in like our first date, I literally just complained about him and I was like, this boy is never calling me back again. Like
yeah,
he's done for. I took him out to the middle of the mountains and made this man hike in humid like sprinkling weather.
I remember
It
this.
was cold. He he hates the cold. And my grandma was like, "You're taking him for a hike? What if he tries to kill you?" I said,
Yeah,
"Girl, I'm taking him to my hometown
yeah,
where like I can probably outrun him." And like my grandma was like a little version of callback to the last episode, Ethel, because
yeah.
this woman laughed at me and said, "Girl, you can't outrun him." And I was like, "Fair, I don't run." But I was like, this boy's never calling me back. I
Yeah,
literally just talked his ear off this entire hike and back about my ex, like, was gonna be husband.
yeah,
And, like, the fact that I'm still currently dealing with him, I was like, this boy ain't
yeah.
never calling me back. But we didn't really, like, he didn't tell anyone about me until June.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, I don't think that you guys were like official like right away.
No, I mean, we went on our first date April 17th, and
You're
then,
counting that as your anniversary? I think that's hilarious.
yeah.
That's actually hilarious.
Because, like,
Anyways,
after
sorry.
that, like, there was, like, 3 days where we didn't talk, and I was like, I waited. I was like, I'm not texting first. I told this man that I wanted 6 months of free time because of this super toxic relationship that I just got out of, which I did relate to her on that on, like, a very strong front. Like, obviously, Mason wasn't doing the things that was happening.
Yeah,
But the way that she immediately just recoiled and was
yeah,
like, it's my body, it's my body. My
yeah,
husband is still trying to fix the damage that has been done like my entire life
yeah,
because of like not being societally perfect.
yeah.
Um
Which is just so insane, by the way, because I have never like I have never thought that you were like unattractive or like
Thanks.
at all ever. Like you in my head were just like tall and skinny like a model.
Well, thanks.
Like our whole friendship like ever, and even like when you were saying like talking about like after the kids and stuff, like I never like thought ever that you were like overweight or fat ever. Like
And like
I knew that you like, and you had said this, you had gained weight, and I was like, well, duh, you had a baby. Like what?
yeah.
Of course you did. You had a baby. There was you grew a person. Like of course your body changed. But like it never like you were never like this like crazy like overweight. Like I never would have thought that you were like insecure in that way at all. Like I always thought like your insecurity in that came from the like your mom being like you're going to be a whore if you dress like this or if you look like this or if you do these things, like you're a whore and you're going to go to hell. Like that's where like my mind would have thought like all like not all of it obviously because I knew like shit with the ex was like not good, but like
Yeah.
that's like where like that was what I thought that you were thinking. Like
I mean, part of it is like watching like my older sisters leave the house in inappropriate clothing and watching my mom and my stepdad get super angry with them was like a huge part of it. But like I don't know if I ever told you this. 8th grade graduation, I went to Ross with my mom, got a couple dresses, went home to my stepdad. Like he asked what dress I was going to choose, so I put it on and he literally looked at me and told me I needed a girdle to be able to wear it.
that
Yeah.
so crazy because you were not fat. You were
In
so
eighth
tall.
grade, I
That was my
played
first
basketball.
that was my first like reaction of you was like that girl is so tall. And
Yeah.
it was only because my mom is also tall. Like my mom is 5'10" or 5'11", something like that. Like my mom is also like a
We're
tall
pretty
girl.
much about the same height,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so like I was just like, "Oh my god, that girl's tall too." Like and my mom because my mom was also really tall. And so like that's just like that was like what I my thought process like in the first thing that I ever like saw you. I was like, "She's so tall."
You want to know my first impression of you?
That I was like weird probably.
No, I thought it was really cool that you were so comfortable with like you had like the piercings, and when
Did I
we
have wet
first
hair when I
met,
met you?
I think so. You had one
I
of
was
I
red a
think you
lot of high
had,
school. Yeah.
yeah, and then you were green some of high school. But
I had a
like
split dye at one point too.
I I want to say it was the split dye
That's what
that
I
we
think it probably
first
was
met
too.
with.
Yeah.
Um but I was just like, I love seeing that on other people because I'm like, dude, I wish I was brave enough to try that, but I'm not brave. I stick with super natural colors. My nails, I never do anything super crazy with my nails. It's either like a very nude, earthy tone, but I think it's so cool when people do cool things with their nails. I'm
Yeah.
just not brave enough to see if it looks good on me and the ramifications of if I'm going to hate it. And so
Yeah.
I always play it safe. So I was always like, dude, like a nose piercing would be really cool, but I'm terrified to try it. I was
Yeah.
always like, dude, you just like you're so okay with just doing whatever because it's fun.
That's so funny because I was so incredibly insecure in high school. Like I did not like I
I
did
mean,
not think
like,
I was cool at all.
but you were still like comfortable doing your hair the way that you did because you wanted it to be that way.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you didn't care about why people asked why you dyed your hair that way.
I used to tell people it grew out of my head like this.
Oh,
It grew
that's so
this is my
funny.
natural color. And it was like
This is
fire
just
engine.
natural. Yeah.
Yeah, it grew out of my head like that. I don't know.
But like, yeah, that
That's
that
so funny
comment.
because I also was like straightening my hair every single day because I was not comfortable with my curly hair at all.
I didn't even know you had curly hair when we first met. It took a little while for
Yeah.
me to know you had curly hair.
Like I think the first time I ever like went curly to like a function in high school was not even at our high school. It was at South. Like it was literally at a different high school.
That's so funny.
And it was because the like girl I was going with was like, "We need to have curly hair." And I was like,
Okay, let me go wet it.
that's my nightmare, but okay. And anytime I would do curly, like in high school too, because I had my hair was cut to be straight. Like it was not a curly cut by any means at all whatsoever. And I barely knew how to take care of it because I was just like I would just like dry brush it. Like I just never took care of it because I just hated it, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Um, especially after moving into the town that we were living in at the time. Um, you know, they don't do curly hair in that town. Uh, but I literally would do like the 2000s like bump right here with my bangs and then be like curly and like the 90s like moussey, crunchy,
Crunchy.
scrunched like curls. Yeah. That's what
Dude, the other day when we were headed to the doctor's, I had gotten out of the shower and I like quickly did like a scrunch with mousse. And as we were like getting in the car, I was like, man, I really hope this doesn't like turn 2000s crunch. And Noah goes, what? And I said, you'll see. And then as it dried, there were like a few pieces. I was like, oh no, I added too much
you gotta be like
mousse for sure. I
you
was
gotta
like
break
sitting
the
there and I was like,
cast. You
no,
gotta break the
no. And
cast.
he was just like, oh God, don't get that shot. Did you see the way it looked? I was like, no, no, no. And I was like, oh, no, it is doing the 2000s crunch. He goes, what are you talking about? I said, watch, try and bend this. And he did, and it snapped. Like, you could hear the moose, like, snapped. He goes, oh. And I said, yeah,
Yeah,
bad.
so funny. That was so funny. But
The
yeah, I
2000s.
it was cringy. I don't know. I don't know.
But I
Now
love
it's
your
like
hair, dude.
I know. Well, I
I'm
I
over here
stopped
trying
straightening
to
it like
aspire
2
to
years
get
ago.
it.
It's so much work. So
And don't do hard work. That's like when it comes to
so
like
much
my
work.
appearance. No hard
It's
work, man.
so much work. I think I like perfected my eyeliner and I was like, okay, now I have time to do my hair. I don't know. But like
I have a child. Out, please. Thank you. Put it down and go. I get that on my hair. Come on, buddy. Bring it here. Oh, my dress. Mom, it does got me. Okay, go and close the door, please. No. Brother.
is that your bra?
It's not my bra. It's my dress strap.
Oh.
It just broke. Okay, so, anyways, oh, he didn't close the door. Logan, we're so close to being
We're so close to being
done.
done. We have like 2 topics left.
Come on, Logan. Close the door, please.
Go lay down, Dobby.
Logan. Okay, we're just gonna do this with the door open.
Okay.
Can you hear him though?
Yes.
Dude, I'm buried because I'm cold. Just locked it. I was like, fuck this.
Okay, girl, we're done.
Okay. Now the camera angle is gonna be weird, but my butt is numb.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's all good. But I do think that to kind of wrap it up, to wrap up the camera shy episode, because I could talk about this book for 700 million years.
I
Um
know.
there are so many. This was the first book I ever like made highlights in, I think, at all. Like I think this was the first one I was like, "Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that. That's great. That's wonderful." Like it was so good. And I think like a big thing that I did want to like talk about in the episode was the fact that this Avery was plus size and it was not her entire personality, even though the book was about her like learning to love her body and like everything like that. It wasn't her entire personality, where there is a times in like honestly kind of a lot of like books written about like plus size girls where they say things like, oh, like I'm just too fat, or like that I don't eat in front of hot guys. Like that's like a quote from a book, like, or like it's like their whole thing is like, oh, I'm just fat and ugly. Oh, I'm just fat and ugly. I'm just fat and ugly. And it's like
Yeah.
their whole shtick, and they're just like you hear about it like the whole book, like about just they about how fat they are and what their body looks like. Like it's like obsessive, and it can be really hard to like read those, because then it become like in those specifically it becomes about the male validation, where I feel like Camera Shy does a really good like a really good job at, even though it is a romance and even though she is getting validation from Finn, it's like in such a way that is one natural, and is two, he's not just like, oh, I like big girls. Like it's not that type of thing either.
Yeah.
He genuinely is like interested in her, and he's
She's
genuinely
smart.
yeah, how
She
smart she is, and it's
constantly
also
showcases
about
it.
her, like, when, like, their, like, lessons, per se, start with her learning to look at herself in a different way,
And
and
enjoy it.
see herself and enjoy herself without the shame and without the, like, really like, it is, like, the big thing of shame, like, I think that, and I think that's, like, a big, um I think it's huge. I think it's huge, and I think that she does that so well. Like, she writes a character like that so well. And this whole trilogy of books, I like, you have to read the other two because they are
Oh, I will
just
be.
as good. Um
I need Dex.
they Dex was so good. Dex was so good. Wait, is it three other books? Two other books. Three other books. There's three other books, I think. No, I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm wrong. Never mind. Um but because it's camera shy, snapshot, and selfie.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's
I
it's
was
three.
like trying, my
Um,
photographer brain turned on and I was like, F stop? Like,
but yeah, so like those, she does a really good job with all of these characters, and like they are really all, like, they're not all plus size. Like, obviously the book 2 is about Lennox, um and she's not, but it is all about, like, really learning to, like, love who you are, and like
yeah.
the emphasis on, like I said, like, the male validation is not there. It really is about, like, you appreciating who you are, and like, and that your body is just that, it's just a body, like, it doesn't
Yeah.
define, like, who you are as a person. I think that's really important.
I do too. And I love the fact that, like, from the moment that Finn saw Avery, he always just saw Avery. Like, she would be like,
Yeah.
oh, Palmer, Palmer. And he's like, I don't give a fuck about your friend Palmer.
I loved that part. He was like,
Like, thank you.
I was I even in the reread, I was like, I cannot wait for him to tell her that. Because I was like, girl, you are so dumb. He's looking at
I needed
you.
somebody in the story to tell her to stop focusing on Palmer.
Yeah.
Because
I was like,
obviously me screaming at her wasn't going
yeah.
to work.
Yeah.
But I was just like, oh, thank God. But like she showcases her intelligence, her creativity, her empathy, like her and Cherry.
Yeah.
Like that just that
Yeah.
part. And Finn also makes it a point, like you said, to be like, it's just a body.
Yeah.
It's not who you are. But he was always so gentle.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like men, when they're trying to reassure plus size women, they're like, ooh, I love your big thighs. And it's
Yeah.
like,
It
that's not
becomes,
what Finn was doing.
like, fetish.
Yeah.
Like, it becomes fetish. That's exactly what it is it becomes fetish. It becomes about, like, it doesn't even become, like, about, like, a preference. Like, I think there's, like, definitely a difference between, like, some guys have a preference for, like, bigger girls, like, that's definitely a thing, but I think that there's heavily a difference between the preference of a body type and the, like, fetishization of said body type, and they're,
Yeah.
like, we're told all the time, like, as, like, when you live in a bigger body and when you are fat, you're told all the time, well, like, there's guys that love fat girls, and it's like, I don't want to be fetishized. And like, and I was in high school, like, I literally had a guy ask me if I would gain weight for him, like, straight
Yuck.
up, and I was just like, no. And I wasn't even like, I, like, look back now and I'm like, I was not even that big in high school.
No, you weren't.
I was not even that big in high school, like, at all, and I thought I was, like, a whale, and then literally, like I said, that guy literally asked me that, "Would you gain weight for me?" And I was just like, "No." Like, what? Like, no one and okay, no one is probably wrong. Like there probably are women who are into that and like that, but I did not. I did not like
I
it.
don't think I could either. And
I don't
like,
like that like fetishization of my body because it was like the least it's the least interesting thing about me.
yeah.
It's the least interesting thing about me, and it also makes you feel like an object. And like a lot of the other thing with like this book and like her being a little bit shy and like things like that, like as far as like the sex stuff goes, is a lot of fat women and plus size women either end up hypersexual because that's the only time anybody wants us type of like thing, is like they like guys will hook up with fat girls but they won't date them, like that's a very big thing. Or you end up like this forever virgin where because you're scared to engage because you don't see the engagement, or like there's no interest, or like whatever, I don't know. It's definitely a nuanced take, but
I mean, I get it because
it's
of how my ex was. And like, when I was with him, I was like a freaking size 8 in my pants,
yeah, which is
you
crazy.
know?
You're literally 700 feet tall.
But, and like, I've always had just a wider hip bone.
Yeah.
My hip bones are wide.
Hmm.
And so, like,
You're pear
if
shaped.
I didn't have like the wider hips, I probably would have been in like a size 4 when I was with him. I was a very skinny person. And yet I was still constantly told how unattractive I was because of the weight that I had on, or, because I
Yeah.
wasn't toned. I was skinny, but I wasn't toned. And then, you know, coming into my relationship now for a very long time, dark. It had to be dark. There was not a chance I was letting him see my body.
Yeah.
And like that kind of wears on your partner because they're like, I think you're gorgeous. Let me see. And it like took a
Yeah.
lot of that. But like it is it is like when you get told that you're overweight, or you are overweight and you're uncomfortable, and so you become like the little virgin. It's like, I get it because like you don't want to see yourself because
Yeah.
you don't find yourself to be attractive because nobody has given you a reason to find yourself
Yeah.
attractive.
Hmm.
And like Finn gave her that reason
Yeah.
over and over and over and over again. And this is like one of the times where I'm like, this is the wrong time to be emotionally attached to a fictional character because I need this man to be alive and
Yeah.
real and just
Because
like,
he's so gentle in his reassurance.
even with the
Like
old
his
lady, that's
reassurance
the
was
first time I cried.
straightforward, but it was also gentle.
Yeah. With his client, and like the first time he gets introduced, that was the first time I freaking cried because he was like, did I ever once whisper wilted? And I sure in the hell haven't ever said decrepit in the studio. Like,
Yeah.
I will be that man. If I was a man, that I would be Finn.
Like I just yeah, I don't know. I just love I love their whole relationship. I love how it evolves. I love how they're both kind of using I don't not using each other, but they are kind of like using each other to cope with like this other stuff in their lives and these other like failed relationships, or like ways that they both put like themselves in situations that are not healthy or like conducive to them being like mentally good. And so I don't know. It's such a good book. It's such a good
I,
book. I think if I was going to tell like give a book that I think every person should read, it would be this book.
yeah, whether I feel that way,
Like,
whether you're like a plus size person or
yeah.
you just have body dysmorphia, because like this is a fictional book and this is fictional characters, but I think that it lended a hand in teaching self-love.
Yeah, very
And
much
like
so.
she did such an amazing job at capturing like the real emotion of somebody who has body dysmorphia or
Mhm.
has been shamed their whole life. I think that she just did amazing. And when you were telling me about this, I was like, I need to read this. And
Yeah,
you're like, I have related to this book so hard. And I was like, I do too. And we're on two different
yeah.
we're on different ends of the spectrum, you know. I
Mhm.
but we both related to it so closely.
Because it even if you don't have that like the body issues or whatever, like I think that everybody could learn something, or everybody could appreciate even just the like learning not to take the shit from your friends, learning
Yeah.
to like healthy friendships, learning all of these things. Like I think everybody should read this book. I
I am
think
trying
every single
so
person
hard.
should read this book
I'm
because
trying
there
so hard to
is
get
so
my
much.
auntie to. I think
Yeah.
my auntie I think my auntie would like it, but I think that she's put off by the fact that it's more of a mushy,
Mm,
lovey book. It's not thriller romance or
yeah.
dark romance. It's and I'm just like, no,
It's
I need everyone I know to read this.
I like I it really is like the book is so good. And I like the first like I said, the first time reading it, I was obsessed. I loved it. I was like, this book is so good. It's amazing. It's a work of art. The second time reading it was just like there was like stuff that I'm like, "Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot about that. Like this was amazing. I loved this part." Like there was like so much in it that like even like reading it the second time, I didn't feel like I was reread, like I didn't really feel it
You were
didn't
still
feel like a
getting new
reread
stuff.
necessarily. Like I was still just like consuming it and just like just obsessed, just absolutely obsessed. And it really does, like it puts you through an emotional roller coaster. Like I don't know that I cried this second time of coming around, but that first time I read it, I cried multiple times. Like that was the first book I read that I was like just attached to the
Yeah.
characters and attached just to the story in and of itself. And like I don't know what kind of drugs she put in that book.
Just
But she she did something. She did something. Um, she did something that was just like just amazing. Like I it's amazing. It's literally amazing.
just
I
for
have
the
no words.
cover alone and like the back,
Yeah,
just all of it, it just it's yeah.
it's so
Like
good.
she just
It's so
captivating
good.
and probably like out of all of the books that we've read so far and that you have recommended, like this one gets a gold encased shadow box
Yeah,
with like museum lighting to avoid damage, you know, like the whole thing.
yeah,
That's it gets encased in gold.
yeah.
It just
It's amazing. It's seriously amazing, and it is like I said, one of the best books I've ever read, and everyone should go read it. You should go read it. It's on Kindle Unlimited. If you have that, I guarantee it's in your library. Like please, please, please read this book. And if you read this book, please tag me in your review because I
yes,
I
let us
need
know
to
what you
know.
think.
Let us know how you like it. Put it in the book club, put it on Instagram, put it somewhere because I am obsessed. And and truly even like out of all of the books that we have reviewed so far, like this is the book that is a 100% read this book no matter what you're into. Like I don't care like what your level is because it is emotional, it is spicy, it's an open door romance. It is spicy, but there's not, the emphasis is not on the spice. it is it is very plot based, and the spice is just a plot, like a way to carry on the plot. Like that's all it is. And it's really amazing. And read it. Everybody read it.
Like yesterday.
Yeah. Read it yesterday, read it tomorrow, read it 5, 6, 7 times. Like just read it and please tell us how you like it because
And somebody create fan art. Because like there's like no fan art. Somebody get rights to do fan art, please. I need your creativity.
yeah, because I not artistic. And I don't have that thing where you can picture people in your head. I don't have that.
So somebody with skills.
Yeah, please give me some Finn character art. Give me some Avery character art. Give me Lennox character art.
All of
Give me
them.
Dex character art. Give me all of
Cherry.
the character art. Give it to me. Write fan fiction about make it a dark romance where Avery kills Palmer. I don't know. Because,
Where Avery kills Palmer.
like, I don't know, but do it
Fourth book?
please and read the book. It's so good. And I will leave it at that. Join us next time. We are reading In Her Own League by Liz Tom Forty, and it is another plus size FMC. It's sports romance. It is the final chapter to the Windy City series, and it's going to be good. So join us next time for that. Bye.
Bye.